Alright, it's been a while, but we are back with Off Meta Garen, and I'm going to show you my Shining Sarcophagus deck today. I have two more, if not three more deck profiles coming, but this is the most, like, branched out of the meta deck that I was playtesting and having fun with. So, it does play a couple meta-ish cards, but overall it's just a Shining Sarc deck, with me personally trying to end on both Magicians and another monster as the end board. I don't have a real end board. I haven't really decided how I want to play this deck, so we've just been playing it for fun. But to start with, we are playing 3 of the Dark Magician Girl. Just looking for Shining Sarcophagus is fine. The best starter that I've played with is the Gadget Trio because it can search for things that aren't Shining Sarc. We are playing 2 of the Dark Magician. I played 1 for a little bit. I prefer the 2 because it's just an extra body on the board. Archfiend Advent because it's a Yugi deck, and how can we play without Thunder? Or oh boy, I forgot his name. Yeah, the normal 5 Fiend monster that he plays and everything that makes Black Skull Dragon. We are playing 3 Gandoras because going second, that is just the best card, and I want to see it as frequently as possible. Plus, it's good follow-up on the following turn. If I happen to pop the board, they do anything whatsoever, I at least can pop the board a second time. And then we're playing 2 of the Silent Sword 0 and 2 of the Silent Magician 0 because I just like the fact that they're little baby negates that work really well and get super big, and there's a couple OTK things you can do with them, specifically Magician. We're playing 1 Turn Silence because I like monster negations. Playing the 1 Ties That Bind because that card's just actually good, giving me both Magicians immediately, or if I open that and Shining Sarcus, whatever else, we can get Gadget and one of the missing pieces. 3 Sarcs because you have to have them. 3 Future Silence because you can OTK with it. It's a starter, and it lets you rebuild your hand for whatever reason. Like, yeah, you let your opponent rebuild your hand in battle phase, but sometimes it's just enough. We are playing the 1 Dark Magician Mirror Force because you can set it for free, and the 1 Stronghold Hidden Fortress because that card can actually OTK on its own based off of how many cards you have on the field. I didn't realize they got 1,000 tech for each Shining Sarcophagus and monster that mentions it that I control. So if you do that plus the main board, that's 5,000 attack, and then if you have 1 Shining Sarc, that's 6. It's usually sitting at 3, if not 4,000 attack though, which is still really big, even if it doesn't OTK. And negating monster attacks once per turn is cool. Oh, some hand traps, 2 Nibs, 2 Bell, 3 Ash, Crossout Designator, and then for the cards that most people don't play and or don't know to play for the main deck, the ones that people don't play, I'm just playing the Marshmelons because they keep coming back, and it's Marshmelon. Like, it was one of the main cards from the duel of Yugi versus the Tem, so I might as well have the Marshmelon. And the card that nobody's playing in this deck, which I can't figure out why, outside of the Ties That Bind, stop you from summoning with extra deck, but you only play 1 of those and you don't have to use it, is quite literally 7th Tachyon, because you can search for every good card in the deck. With that there, we'll go into the extra deck and show what we're using Tachyon with, so we know what we're searching for. So, 106 lets you search for Gadget. 104 lets you search for Silent Swordsman or Magician, and 107 lets you search for Gandora. 8 Dragon, level 4 Light, level 4 Earth. This is also a level 4 Spellcaster if Silent Magician wasn't Light, but that's neither here nor there. But in general, you have 3 targets with 3 cards that search, and then you can actually make these 2 if need be. We are playing the 103 Ragnar 0 in case I decide to put Perillia and Molo Charming Flawless back in, but also don't know what to really put in the extra deck. We were playing Typhon because I just like Typhon in every deck. And then for our fusion monsters, not that we can make it in this version, but we are playing the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And then Ritual Beast, Ultimate, Redorari, whatever his name is, Redotari, for the you can't tribute cards against Mitsurugi. And then Artemis to do the Artemis combo with the Charmers, because you're playing Lights and Darks, into Celine, so you can link climb into Access Code as an end boss. We're playing Closed Goddess because I don't have a lot of answers for towers. IP. And the last card we're playing is the Skull Dread. The only card that should come out that I'm playing because I took it out was SP Little Knight should be in here over this, unless I decide to go the variant that we're playing, the like Tamias cards and the Aya Tamias cards and this. But I think I'm going to wait for that until the new Dark Magician Sport comes out to play that. And then side deck is just whatever your local meta is. You just side however you want. But I just thought it was interesting that nobody plays Tachyon in this deck, despite Tachyon searches for every good part of the engine except Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And Marshmallow doesn't need to be in there, so it's just there for whatever. And then to finish off the deck, we have the Yugi token and the Gendora Field Center. So we did the whole deck plus some. Like I said, side deck is just wherever you're playing. Depends on meta, depends on what you want to do. But overall, this is what we're doing for Shining Sarcophagus. I think it's fun, and that's what I'm enjoying for the most. The furthest thing from meta, I think this this deck is a card or two off of actually being meta playable. I'm not really sure where we need to go with it. I think a better boss monster than Gendora. Like, Gendora is great for blowing up the board, but there's no real good end board monster with that. I don't know, maybe another spell. I don't think the deck needs more starters. I think it just needs a couple more just big push cards, like push or defensive. I'm not sure which. Maybe some cards for the back row to help protect your stuff. Maybe a field spell. Not that they played a field spell in the thing. Honestly, I would really, really like to see a retrained Slifer, but this is the Atem versus Yugi deck, and I just haven't figured out what would actually be good to follow that suit to make this deck better. So if anyone has any ideas, maybe a Extract monster would fix it. I'm not sure. But overall, it's off meta, and that is my Shining Sarc deck.